Hello, and welcome to Crossing Bridges Talk Show. I'm your host, Larry Montgomery Sr. This is my co host, Will. Will, introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm William Montgomery. It's a pleasure to be here.
And Kimmy. Kimmy, introduce yourself.
Good afternoon. My name is Kimmy Bambar, and it's a pleasure to be here again.
Right. Our special guest host, Jeanette, is late again. We're going to have to dock her pay.
She'll be joining us shortly.
A chicken plucking check will be short this week. She won't be able to buy any extra eggs. But anyway, this week we want to talk about the elections that were held in most states in this country. I know some states they didn't have any. I don't know why. It's a federal holiday. Why not have an election like everybody else is? But okay. So let me hear from some of my panelists as to their thoughts on their most recent election. Will?
Our election is not going to be till next year for the governor's race, the gubernatorial race, to be exact.
And who's going to be running, do you know?
Herschel Walker.
Herschel Walker? Any football player?
Yep.
Wait,
and an MMA fighter.
And an MMA fighter?
Yeah, he was fighting
mixed martial arts?
Yeah, mixed martial arts.
How many times has he been kicked in the head?
I don't know. He was whipping up on a whole bunch of people.
He must got kicked once to think that he could run for governor.
Oh, Lord.
Sounds like your hate right there.
Oh, hate is real, I know. I mean, really, I listen, I don't know him, but I would just, to me, listen, I'm not a brain surgeon, so I'm not going to walk over to Mercy Hospital and say, give me a job. Okay? You're a football player. You mixed martial artist, kick people in the head kind of guy. I don't see you behind a desk making financial decisions that affect people's lives. But, go figure. Who's he running against, do you know?
Not really. Nope.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Kimmy, what's happening down in your neck of the woods?
Nothing. There's a lot of elections and stuff going on right now, but I hate to say this, but I'm not very big on politics, so I don't really partake in it. It's probably a bad habit of mine, but I should be a little bit more in tune with politics, but that's something I have to work on.
Oh, I understand. Not a problem. 1-800 fix my Google.com. You get all the answers you need to be prepared to talk about this. Anyway, okay. I got just a couple of quick points, so we won't be long. I always say that. One thing I wanted to say, a lot of people who know anything about New York, Long Island is not a part of New York City when it comes down to politics. They're literally, geographically, Long Island encompasses Suffolk County on the far end, Nassau County, Queens County, and Brooklyn County. All four of them are part of the geography that makes up Long Island. But Brooklyn and Queens are part of New York City. Okay? So we do things differently out here. Brooklyn and Queens has boroughs. They are boroughs. And they have a borough president, which is more what they say, what they call it, ceremonial type position. but Nassau and Suffolk County have a county executive who actually has political power and can get things done, has a lot of responsibility. Nassau County has been a Republican county for many years. Well, let's just say, from my perspective, over the last 50 years, it's been more Republican than it's been. We've had more Republican leaderships than we've had Democratic leaderships. And this year, personally, I thought that because President Biden had gotten in, that the tide had changed, and we would have another Democratic county executive. Because the one we have now is a Democrat. But in January, when they make the switch, we will have a new county executive, which is Mr. Bruce Blakeman, a Republican. Now, I knew Bruce when he first got into politics many years ago as one of the first Nassau County legislators. Okay. Young guy, lawyer, got all this going on. And, so he's back. Okay. Now he's the man in charge. So this will be interesting. But I think in this particular race, it says something. And I think that this is something that the Black community needs to start becoming a little more sensitive to. Here's the point. We just got a presidential Republican, leadership situation, but the Republican Party continues to be influential to the point of it's not like, well, the Democrats can make a decision and the Republicans have to go along. You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'll be back having some technical difficulties.
Okay. I guess he'll be frozen for a minute while he gets back on. You here? No, he left. He'll be back. So I wanted to say that for when Biden got in, looking for change, and it wasn't just here in Long Island and New York, but it was also, around the country that we thought the Democrats would, kind of come in and do some different things or whatever. But here on Long Island, now we have the Republicans back. And I really don't have too much of a problem with the Republicans here on Long Island, because while there are party differences, some things that I would do this versus that type of a thing, there's still sanity. Okay. We left from something that was insane, and now we're at the federal level, and we're working with a group of just mean, ornery people in the Republican Party at the federal level. Mean and ornery. I'm just not going to agree with you because you're you, as opposed to what is the idea? What are you trying to do? Why is it important? If it's important, then let's figure out how to make it work, type of thing. I understand that Biden just got his big deal pushed through, which is good, but I'm sure was trimmed down a lot and whatever, and that's okay. But the thing is that at least most of them up there on Capitol Hill are leaning in the same direction, trying to get things done that makes sense. So enough with the national level. Here in Nassau County, when the Republicans now have taken over, or going to take over, the question is how did, let me say this, most Black people on Long Island are not Republicans. Not Republican. Jeanette, you there? How you doing? Can't hear you.
You off
Now
mute.
I hear you.
Oh,
You off mute.
okay. I have my earphones plugged up in my ears. Okay.
You all right?
Oh, yeah.
You seem a little,
I just woke up.
like you're leaning.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
I think my shirt is leaning.
yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Help me out here.
Yeah. So help me out.
Now, how y'all gonna do this? You gonna be in the front? Kimmy gonna be in the back?
Well, Kim, you need to get on this side.
I know the other side's fine. I'm here.
But can you turn
Take the phone and lay it landscaped, so then both of you can be in the same video. Yeah, okay, that's almost better.
Okay.
It didn't really work out like I thought.
It's fine.
It still looks like a portrait,
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Anyway, so what I was talking about was Nassau County Republicans here, Democrats, mostly black. And now the Democratic county executive has lost her seat, and we're going to have a white male Republican as the county executive. And what that's saying is that black folks did not show up to vote. Now, the papers are saying that the reason why there was the switch and the Democrats didn't win was because there's the big argument about bail. The rules about being bailed out, getting bailed out of whatever jail or whatever, are antiquated and need to be changed. Some people who don't have the money languish in jail for who knows how much time because they don't have the money for bail. And those who have money, they get paying it out. Okay, so that's an issue. Personally, that ain't the issue in my mind as to why I would not vote for the county executive that was in place unless the county executive who was in place, Laura Corrin, was actually lousy at the job she was doing. That's why black people didn't show up, not because of some bail issue. And you could ask anybody here in the county who would actually tell you the truth. They didn't show up because she didn't do squat. She was an embarrassment to the party. And Jay Jacobs, who was the now state chairman for the Democrats, does what he usually do, nothing. Long as he getting paid and life is quiet for him is good. What black people need, what black people do, until it becomes a problem, he gives less than a whatever. So now that I've ranted and raved over our election here, Jeanette, did you have any comments about the elections in your neighborhood this week?
Well, to tell you the truth, I had none because, it's Atlanta, Georgia, and I figured that why waste my time to vote? They're not going to do the right thing anyway. They, especially if the North had to come down to Atlanta to make it a blue state. I mean, hell, I probably wind up in Egypt somewhere trying to, help people get to voting for whatever king it is or whatever, and I ain't riding no camels and none of that shit, so, I figure I'm not even, it was a waste of time for me to go out, to go out in Atlanta to vote because I figure all the Democratic people that's running are majority black people anyway. So I figured that nothing was going to come of it. Whoever won or whoever did win, which I don't even know. And personally, I really don't care because they're not going to do nothing anyway. So that's how I feel about it.
Kimmy, did you want to chime in?
Honestly, I do a little bit. And I mean, I guess I just feel like I agree with my mom to a certain degree because people might say, oh, that's like a foolish way of thinking. But I mean, I guess it just depends on where you are in your area in life. So, and I guess it depends on how you look at things. But when you don't really see changes happening like at all, it's kind of like, what's the point? You know what I mean? I mean, if I do vote, if I don't vote, or if I have all my people who I know and encourage them to vote, and then nothing changes, it's kind of like, is it really like a purpose, or is all the poof just about publicity? You know what I mean? Like, it just, I don't know. Sometimes I just don't see a change on anything, and I feel like, are we the people really going to be able to make a change? Is our vote really going to count? And when it counts, what is it really going to do? And I'm not against Republicans, I'm not against Democrats or anything like that, but I'm just, for example, with Trump, like, and I'm not like coming at him in no type of way, but what I'm saying is, like, how was he not impeached? Do you know what I mean? And this might be a little bit off topic, but it's gonna make a point. How was he almost impeached, and then not impeached to the point where he's about to run for president again, but he was held up on all these different charges, and it's like all these people were backing him, but then there were a lot of people who were like totally against him, and he's still able to go and vote. It just doesn't make any. I mean, he's still able to go and run for president, so it just doesn't make any sense to me personally. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, it just doesn't. Something is not right. I don't know what it is, but something is not right.
Can I hold the light on that?
Yeah,
because the lies that they keep pushing on the Black people are prevalent. They own the media. They want us to believe a certain thing. I'm like, just like you said, they had all this evidence against the former president.
Right.
They didn't do nothing with it.
Nothing.
But let you do something. You up under the jail. Okay. Quick, easy, fast, no problem. But they're saying they had all this dirt on the man. All this dirt. So either they were incompetent or they didn't have what they said they had.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So if it don't fit, you must have quit.
And that's just the perfect example of why it's like, that's why I think honestly, that's why some people get hopeless. You know what I mean? When it comes to vote, I'm not encouraging be hopeless. I'm not saying don't vote. I'm encouraging people, if it's the right thing to do, I'm all for trying to do what's right the best I can. But when you don't see a change after a while, it's just kind of like, I mean, is it worth it? You know what I mean?
It's more exciting to me when it's time for election.
For the presidential?
For any election. It's the campaigning. Just to hear them say, I'm going to do this. Yeah. I'm going to do that.
Minimum wage is going to be raised.
Right. The murder and the killings are going to stop. And
everybody's going to have health insurance and all these different things.
So that's what I look forward to. So after that, I'm done with it, because I'm saying I'm not standing on this line because this liar, made this big old deal and, got people all hyped up and stuff like that. You won't get me like that.
And a lot of people's votes are not even being counted, especially in the African-American communities, and the stuff that they put people through just to actually get online to the ballot booth to vote. It's ridiculous. It's really sad.
Yeah, well, I was standing online, last time I wanted to vote and stuff, and this old lady was pushing me and stuff like that. I wanted to jack and stuff like that. I said, let me just go on home. This ain't for me. Because you act like this, you want to fight, and they ain't gonna do the right thing anyways. There ain't no sense of me knocking you out and going to jail for abusing an old lady and stuff like that. I mean, I could have probably ran and got away from him and stuff like that. Because maybe I wouldn't have got away with it, because maybe they would have followed me, chased behind me. And nobody would have voted.
Will, you wanted to say something?
Well, when you were talking, Kimmy, were you talking about in Columbus or were you talking about in Atlanta?
In Atlanta. In Atlanta.
And isn't that a Black mayor that runs Atlanta?
Yes, it is.
Keisha Lance Bottoms.
Yes, it is.
Isn't she a Democrat?
Yes, she is.
Wouldn't they want to ensure that Black people had the ability to vote?
Thank you.
Having these long, outrageous lines and making it harder to vote? I wonder.
The thing you want to keep in mind in that is that the mayor really had little input into the law that was being considered by the governor. Okay, so we have to understand there's politics, the personal part, what you see, and then there's politics behind the scene done by those people who are standing there in your face. And goes back to what Kimmy was saying. You know, you put people in office and they don't do what they're supposed to do, what they say they're going to do, and that's what Jeanette pointed to. They talk about this issue, that issue, but they don't get anything done, and the issue's still there. The point I think that we all as a community need to start looking at is that it's one thing to stand here and say, look, this flat tire needs to be fixed. Now, we could call a tow truck, we could push the truck, we could push the car to the gas station, or we could actually change the damn tire. We haven't given any thought to changing the tire. The tire is flat. It's not working well. It's not working. So why don't you run for office?
You know
Kimmy.
what I was thinking about that. You know, I was
Or
thinking
you,
about-
Jeanette. That's exactly what I said. Why don't you run for office?
Who, me?
Or you, Jeanette? You know, the point is, and it's not personal. I'm not saying personally.
No, I know.
But you know, you could, if you wanted to. That's up to you. But what I'm saying, as a people, as a community, we got to stop talking about, well, you supposed to do this and you supposed to do that, and you didn't do this and you won't do that. What about me? What the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
Sitting here complaining about everybody else, and I didn't get up off my butt and do nothing. I voted personally, but my point is, the person sitting here complaining about everything ain't did anything but complain.
And you got a point.
That's why white folks get to do what they want to do, and they justify it. I mean, I'm not saying they ain't bully enough to just go in and try to do it any old way, you know.
You mean in
but I'm
addition
saying
to
they
the fact
want
that
to
they have white
justify,
privilege?
huh?
I said, you mean in addition to the fact that they have white privilege?
Well, they only have white privilege because we sit back and allow it. You ain't got no privileges. You got only privileges that you can defend. If you can't defend that privilege, it ain't yours. It ain't yours. And we just letting you have it. So
is there black privilege?
Case in point, you know.
You said, is there such thing as black privilege?
I mean,
it could be if we stood up and did what we.
I mean, you know who Stephen A. Smith is, right?
Huh?
You know who Stephen A. Smith is?
I think so.
No, who is he?
No bad.
He's the loudmouth on the sports channel. He had a white man fired from his job because he didn't like the way that dude was.
Oh wow.
Okay, so that
I would consider that black privilege.
That impacted the black community. How?
It's when you're saying that somebody has a privilege, it don't matter if it's getting in front of the line or getting political favors.
Okay.
Privilege is privilege, right?
Okay.
So when you say that somebody has power over somebody else, if a black man gets a white man fired, hey, that's privilege, ain't it?
I'm gonna say it's about time.
No,
I'm not
that
a
may
racist.
not be
Let me take
privilege.
that
That just may be
back.
because he was right.
I'm gonna say
Privilege is because he got
that.
the job and shouldn't have had the job. That's privilege. The fact that you got fired, whether it was by a black guy or a white guy, if you was wrong, and you should have been fired. Okay, we talking about the community. We talking about black folks and black folks' lives. We sitting here, and same thing when we had the conversation about Barack Obama being president. I thought he did a good job. I didn't expect him to do much of anything for black people that black people would have said, yeah, that's my guy. He did this for us, because that's not his job. His job was to be president for the American community. We have to do what we need to do for black people, for ourselves.
But he did something for the Mexicans. Yeah, the DACA program.
Black people, what we need to do for ourselves.
Yeah, but he did DACA. And he had
You're going off in that other direction and you're not staying on the point. The point is simple. We need to do what we got to do for ourselves. We can't sit here and say, oh, that the governor's supposed to do this for us or the president's supposed to do. Yeah, they may supposed to. Did they do it? No. Did they do it? Yes. Doesn't matter. Did it get done? If it didn't get done, why am I going to continue to sit here and expect someone to do it when there's no reason in hell I can't get my behind up, go and register to run for an office, win that daggone office, and then do the job that I'm sitting here complaining about no one else will do.
Can I ask you a question? So for example, we talked about homelessness, right? So with all the presidents that we've had, it seems like that is something that affects every state, a majority of, not majority of the United States, but a lot of different areas across the board, across the United States. And with all these presidents and all these elections, nobody has ever taken the time to really tackle homelessness. You know what I mean? And that's something that affects every single state in the United States. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just giving that for an example. Like when we do have these elections, we do have these presidents. What are they doing? Are they really trying to help the people, or it just seemed like it's like I don't know.
I think they're just trying to help themselves. Excuse me for cutting you off. Anyway, I had an experience with a mayor of Newark, New Jersey. His name was
Ras Baraka.
Ras Baraka. I was sitting in the plaza. I didn't have nothing else to do. I'm chilling with people I don't know, so I want to see what they doing. Anyway, the majority of them were when I realized that, I said, my God, all these people are drug addicts. So I didn't want to abruptly take a run for it. So, I kind of like chilled and was watching the festivities. So I see all these tractor trailers and all this stuff and all these black cars and long cars and all these people with the headphones in their ears and stuff like that. So they said, that's the mayor right there. I said, where? They said, that man standing right there in the black suit. I said, that's the mayor? I said, excuse me, sir, you're the mayor? Oh, yes, I am. I said, you mean to tell me that you are standing out here watching these people pave the streets and all these junkies around here that need help, and you get paid for watching them pave one street in Newark, New Jersey? I said, you need to be ashamed of yourself. And I don't even know how you got into office. And I put one of my fingers up to him, and it wasn't the pinky finger, So his bodyguards is looking like they was going to want to make a move or whatever, but I wanted to make a move on them too. So I guess they changed their mind first,
So then after you said that, what happened?
What? He kept staring at me.
He immediately left the scene.
And then he got in his car and he pulled his car up by me and rolled down his window. And I stuck my other finger up to him, and it wasn't the pinky. And then they pulled off. So the moral of that whole interaction is what? The moral to that whole interaction is that you're out here watching the street one street in Newark, New Jersey get paved like you was doing this whole amazing ordeal, that something that needed to be done years ago. And you got all these junkies sitting around waiting for people to bring them food to eat and stuff like that. But you got your back turned to them. You're ignoring them, but you're watching them. How I would say, well, what is he going to get on the tractor trailer and pave the streets himself? Or he's trying to learn how to use the tractor trailer because maybe he leaves office. Maybe he'll go into paving the streets or something. And as far as sitting around doing nothing, hey, I ain't got nothing but time. I don't mind getting up, running. I'll run for help. I'll run for. If Trump became president, why the hell can't be president? I got 4 votes right here already. Okay, why can't I run? So hell, shit. Maybe I might decide. I mean, he done been in peace, out of peace. He done cussed, called black nappy-haired girls, which my hair ain't nappy. If y'all can see it for real, ain't nothing nappy about this shit. So, you know, so I mean, and you done got away with all this stuff or whatever. Hell, I ain't got no felonies or nothing like that. Shoot, then I might as well decide to run. I mean, if Kanye West was getting ready to run, shit, I can just vote myself. Why don't I just walk in the White House and say, I'm president? Why can't I just do that? Shit. I mean, this is how the world is ran. Donald Trump already made us the laughing stock, you know?
Alrighty then. Now, back to this zip code. Yeah, I understand that you had difficulty in New Jersey because you're not from Jersey. You just lived there for a little while, and you probably didn't get a good sense for all of the things that have been happening in New Jersey before you got there.
So what you mean to tell me he done paid 5 streets and I missed 4 of them? He done watched.
No, what I'm saying is they finally got 5 streets paved because none of them have been paved for who knows how many years. Okay. And I'm not saying that you're wrong. You know, I'm just saying that we as a people need to kind of back up a little bit and say, let me see the whole picture before I start coming in here criticizing this snapshot. The point is, we can sit around and complain all we want, and I'm telling you what my father used to say: shit in one hand.
He always had the dumbest
what was that other part there with the other hand?
I
wish you one hand and shit in the other hand. See what you come up with.
I ain't never even heard that one. He always told me the one about pissing on the cop's shoe. That's the only one I know. So this is new to me, you know. So
anyway, the point was, you duty in one hand and wish in the other and see what you come up with. You're gonna come up with that because this year you never know what's gonna happen. We complain like it's okay, but will we get up off our butts and do? When we do get up, that's what everybody's afraid of. Because when we do get up, they're going to know they ain't playing no more. They ain't taking this no more. They're going to do what they know needs to be done, you see. But until we as a people decide to say, look, I got to do me now. I done sat back and played with you and waited for you and count down to you and you all this massa and all that kind of stuff. Those days is long gone. Now I'm going to be me. You see, so instead of sitting around saying, well, I'm not voting for him because he tell a lie and I ain't voting for that one because they don't do the job. No, I'm running for office. And when I get in office, not one of them going to say he didn't do what he said he was going to do. Because it ain't about being a career politician. It's about going in there and getting something done. Because you're going in there to serve the people, not to serve you. And this is where 99.9% of these politicians fall to the wayside. Once they get elected, soon as that vote come in and say you won, they lose their ever-loving mind. It's all about me. I'm the man now. And I could make money. Oh yeah. Oh, just say this. Oh sure, I could. Yeah, I could. Yeah. I'm down with that. Hey.
Ask Al Sharpton. What happened to him?
I don't know. Al Sharpton was putting his foot to the pavement, though. He seemed like he was doing something.
Of course, if he was wearing you was wearing alligator shoes all the time with your hair slicked back, you be putting your foot to the pavement too. I'm assuming.
What office does Al Sharpton hold in politics?
I really don't know.
He's an advocate, isn't he?
None.
He's an advocate.
None.
He's not like an actual politician.
None.
He don't do jack.
Nothing.
But get paid.
Nothing.
He do get paid.
He gets paid.
With Al, he's making a living, but he ain't out there trying to be something he ain't.
No,
he ain't out there trying to represent you to help you. He out there to represent something so he can get paid.
Exactly.
We put politicians in office to represent us.
No, to keep his foot on our. He get paid to keep his foot on our neck. Let's keep hope alive. I mean, I've been keeping the hope alive since I'm in my 60s now. How much longer do I gotta keep hope alive and ain't nothing happen? I will be dead and he'll still be saying, let's keep hope alive.
I think we gotta start with what we want.
Keep hope alive is Jesse Jackson's line, but Will had something to say. Go on.
What we got to do, because we talk about these presidential elections and stuff like that, but it actually starts way before that. It starts in the local county offices and stuff like that, and the mayoral races and things of that nature, because
it starts with the PTA in the school. Go on.
Hold on. The president can only do what the laws are. So those people in Congress that come up with these laws, if we don't like the laws, we need to get those people up out of there. Because that's where our power comes from, because they're the ones that create the laws. The governors, there's a Congress in each state. They have a House and they have a Senate in each state, and they have a governor in each state. Then you got the president. They have the National Congress. They have the Senate, and they have the Congress meet people from each state up there, and these people are making the laws for the federal government. And once they're made into the law, the president enforces it. He's the executor. So he comes and says, okay, this is the law. We're going to make this happen. If there's no law, he can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So
you're right about that. But we really have to get a little further back, drill down a little deeper to the real root. The root is politics is important. Okay. It not necessarily needs to be a career, but it's important to the community. So you can start in politics, like I said, at the PTA level. You can start politics at being a Boy Scout or Girl Scout leader and get involved in politics. That don't mean the first job that you run for is president of the United States. You might just run for scout leader. You know?
What is the age limit for Girl Scouts? Some girls, what is the age limit?
I really don't know much about the Girl Scouts, so I can't answer that. But you could Google it.
Well, you suggested that you could start with some Girl Scout cookies. Hell, I'll start selling Girl Scout cookies. I mean, how far could that get me? If I go on the wrong side of the street, I'm gonna get robbed. So what the hell? What am I supposed to do? Who gonna sit down and explain to me? Well, you got up and you was doing what you're supposed to do. You're making a difference, but you just went down the wrong block.
Well, the community that you live in, Jeanette, is
lay it on me.
You have a tennis board or something like that. What do you call it there?
Call it where?
At the place where you live. You have a tennis board.
I live in Atlanta.
Yeah, but the complex that you live in.
The complex that. What about it?
Yeah, it's like a board up there. Yeah, it's like a.
You got a board there. When you had a complaint against the woman over there, who did you go to?
Say what?
When you had a complaint against the woman the other week, who did you go to at the complex to complain about her?
Oh, okay, but who did I went to? I went to the Lord Jesus Christ to please keep me from killing this lady. That's who I went to first. And then I went to management,
Okay. Now, management, don't they have a board there? Tennis board or something like that?
They do.
Yeah, I know. I may not be giving it the right title, but I know they do have somebody there where you can lodge your complaints at and stuff like that, set the rules and stuff like that.
They got all this there?
Yes.
Shit, I ain't know about it.
Okay. Well, look, I guess the first thing we want to do is, get a hold of Google and then find out what the hell is going on around you before you start trying to get into politics. Okay.
No, listen. Number one, I'm gonna have to change my party to Republican. Number one. Because I know as a Black Democratic, they're definitely not going to vote for me. So white people love this kind of stuff. Oh, she's converting over from Democratic to Republican, and how I just loved, always wanted. My dream, my bucket list was to become a Republican. Bam, I'm in the House. You know, I'm getting paid
One
to say
thing
this.
about Republicans, I need you to understand this one. This is just the only point I want to make. One thing about the Republican Party is they all understand the hierarchy and the rules of order. Democrats, they kind of go for what they know. So you probably work out better as a Democrat because you usually kind of say what you feel and how you like things to go. The Republicans, you have to know when to speak and who you're speaking to before you open your mouth. All right. So that's one of the big differences between Republicans and Democrats. But you could Google it and get the details. But a good job for you to run for might be the PTA at the school that Kimmy's son is going to. Then you can start getting involved in politics from there, and you spend 1 or 2 years there, and you get the understanding. Then you might want to run for the school board. Okay? It's not a paid position, but it does give you a lot of influence on things and gives you a better perspective of what politics could be like. Okay? And I'm just saying that for everybody to start to take a hard look at where they're at and what they're complaining about and start looking and say, well, look, these people that keep going up there ain't making a difference. I'm going to go up there. I'm going to try. Yeah, hell, you can run for president if you want to. You probably will lose very badly. But if you could do that, I want you to go and run someplace where you could actually win.
I would never say anything like that. As if Donald Trump could be president, hell, a homeless man laying on the bench could dust his stuff off and go wash up somewhere and run for president too. So I wouldn't say.
They could, but they would lose very badly.
Look, I got some very powerful friends that are bum rush the White House too. Okay, so I could be sitting right in the Oval Chair and posted up.
None of them can vote. None of them can vote, and that's the problem. So you have to vote to get them in. The one with the most votes wins, not the one who's the biggest bully. The one who gets the most votes wins.
Those people that bum rushed the White House, they didn't have any votes. They bum rushed. They got into the White House.
They didn't elect jack shit, did they?
Say what?
They didn't elect anything, did they?
No, they didn't elect them because they didn't find the Oval Room. See, I'm going for the Oval Room. Shit, damn, man, I'm going to sit up in the chair and start writing out what we're going to do next. Man, no secret agents or nothing like that. We're going to tell them, watch the door while we write down, what we're going to do next up in here. Yeah, that's all. Now, how you like me now? Shit, I won't win the presidency. Are you crazy? I stand a great chance of running for president and winning.
The white flag is up. The white flag. The white flag is up. I get it.
Surrender. See, that's what I'm talking about. Surrendering. See, I don't want to already.
You are now the president of Crossing Bridges Talk Shows. Something or other. I'll figure it out. But you'll be the president of that. You won't be. But you'll be in the president of.
Y'all laughing. His phone is acting up. I can't.
The voice is cracking up a lot. The audio is cracking up.
Yeah. Let me say this. You got a point there.
Okay.
About going up to Kimmy's school.
It's not cracking up a lot. Anyway, it's getting late. I'm gonna. She left. Will, you're still there, right? Okay.
I'm still here.
Why don't you make your announcement and we go.
Okay. Well, once again, we would like to extend the invitation to our viewers. If you would like to have a topic, recommend a topic for us to discuss, please let us know in the comment section or in the chat section. Also, if you would like to be a member on be a part of the show, put a request in those same venues as well. And we'd like to say thank you for viewing our show.
And good night. God bless. We'll see you next week, God willing, if the creek don't rise.
If the creek don't rise. Let's go, Brandon.
Bye-bye.